Welcome back to the channel Rare Coins All World. If you're a fan of coins, especially rare and valuable ones, you're in for a treat today. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing and often overlooked pennies in the world of numismatics, the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent coin. At first glance, it might look like just another penny from the 1970s, but trust me, there's more to it than meets the eye. This little piece of history could be worth way more than its face value, and today, we're going to uncover the secrets behind its true worth. The Lincoln 1-cent coin, or simply the Lincoln penny, is one of the most iconic and widely circulated coins in American history. Ever since its debut in 1909, featuring a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, the coin has been a staple of U.S. currency. However, not all Lincoln pennies are created equal. While most of the coins from this series are worth just 1 cent, certain years and versions are much more valuable due to their rarity, condition, and sometimes unique characteristics. The 1973 Lincoln penny is one of those hidden gems that has caught the attention of collectors over the years. The 1973 penny was minted during a time of economic transition. It was a year when inflation was a growing concern, and the U.S. economy was trying to stabilize after the turbulent 1960s and early 1970s. Despite these changes, the design of the penny remained the same, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the iconic Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were produced in large quantities and were widely circulated across the country, so you might be wondering, what makes the 1973 penny special? First, let's talk about the condition of the coin. Like many coins, the value of the 1973 Lincoln penny is largely determined by its grade. Over the years, most of these pennies were heavily circulated, which means they're often worn down with scratches, discoloration, and other signs of use. However, the key to unlocking its true value lies in finding one that has been preserved in excellent condition, free from major damage or wear. The more pristine the coin, the more valuable it becomes. Coins are graded based on their physical appearance, and the highest grades go to coins that show no signs of wear and retain their original luster. A 1973 Lincoln penny in uncirculated or near-perfect condition can command a higher price in the market than a penny that has seen heavy circulation. If you happen to find a 1973 penny that looks brand new, you may have a valuable coin on your hands, but what really adds value to the 1973 Lincoln penny, beyond its condition, is its minting details. The U.S. Mint produced these pennies at multiple locations, including the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. While most of the 1973 pennies were minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, coins from other mints, especially those produced in smaller quantities, can sometimes fetch a higher value. For example, if you have a 1973 penny with a D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, or an S mint mark, for coins minted in San Francisco, you might be holding on to something special. Another important factor that can make the 1973 penny worth more is the possibility of a minting error. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production process, such as misalignment, over-polishing, or incorrect dyes being used. These mistakes can result in coins that have unique characteristics, making them highly valuable to collectors. For instance, a 1973 penny with a double die, where the design appears more than once, could be worth significantly more than a regular coin. Even minor mistakes can dramatically increase the value of a coin, and error coins are always in demand by collectors who are looking for rare and unique pieces. The beauty of coin collecting is that you never know when you might stumble upon a coin that could change your life. It's all about doing your research, carefully examining the coins in your collection, and knowing what to look for. When it comes to the 1973 Lincoln penny, it's the combination of excellent condition, mint details, and potential minting errors that can make it a valuable find. So, how much is the 1973 Lincoln 1-cent coin actually worth? While most circulated 1973 pennies are worth just 1 cent, a coin in excellent condition can be worth much more. A well-preserved penny that has been kept in near-perfect condition can command hundreds of dollars, depending on its specific grade and other factors. However, it's the rarer versions of the 1973 Lincoln penny, such as those minted with errors or those in uncirculated condition, that can really fetch impressive prices. In fact, if you happen to own a 1973 Lincoln penny in pristine condition, or even one with a rare minting error, you could be looking at a value of up to $61,000. Yes, you read that right, $61,000 for a single 1973 penny. This extraordinary value is based on the rarity of coins that have been kept in excellent condition or feature unique minting errors. So, if you're lucky enough to have one of these rare 1973 pennies, you might want to get it professionally graded and appraised. It could turn out to be worth far more than you ever imagined. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip for all of you coin hunters out there: always keep an eye out for those pennies that look just a little different from the rest. Whether it's the condition, the mint mark, or a potential minting error, you never know when you'll come across a coin that could be worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary penny with a story and value that might just surprise you. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin has a lot to offer. Stick around to the end, because we're going to reveal just how much this penny could be worth today. The 1976 Lincoln 1-cent coin was minted during a time of historical significance in the United States. This was the year the nation celebrated its bicentennial, the 200th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. The celebration was everywhere, from special commemorative coins to grand parades and events. The 1976 Lincoln penny, however, wasn't initially part of the bicentennial celebrations. Yet, as we're about to find out, this seemingly simple penny can still carry a valuable legacy. Now, before we get into the specifics, let's take a moment to look at the design of the 1976 penny. The Lincoln 1-cent coin, which had been in circulation for decades by this time, featured the same iconic design that had been used since 1909. On the obverse, we see the classic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. This portrait was based on a photograph taken by the renowned photographer Matthew Brady and has become one of the most recognizable images in American history. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find the famous Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This reverse design has been a part of the penny since 1959 and features a stunning depiction of the memorial in Washington, D.C. The detail of the memorial is impressive, from the columns to the steps leading up to the statue of Lincoln himself. This side of the penny is a symbol of the legacy and leadership of Abraham Lincoln, whose presidency helped guide the United States through its Civil War and into a new era. But what makes the 1976 penny stand out in the world of coin collecting? Well, for most of the coins minted in 1976, they were produced in large quantities, as was typical for coins during that time. However, that doesn't mean that every 1976 penny is just another piece of pocket change. The real key to determining its value lies in a few important factors. Point 1: of the most important factors that affect the value of any coin is its condition. As you may already know, coins that are in pristine or near mint condition are often worth much more than those that are heavily circulated. Over time, pennies can experience significant wear, scratches, discoloration, and even corrosion, all of which can lower their value. A well-preserved 1976 Lincoln penny, on the other hand, can be worth much more than its face value. The 1976 Lincoln penny, especially those that were kept in uncirculated or near perfect condition, can fetch a higher price among collectors. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin becomes. Coins that grade at a high level are often referred to as gem quality or MS-65 and above, meaning they are almost as perfect as the day they were minted. Another key factor in determining the value of the 1976 Lincoln penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins at different locations, and each mint uses a unique mint mark to indicate where the coin was struck. The 1976 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, with a D mint mark, and San Francisco, with an S mint mark. While most 1976 pennies you'll come across will have the Philadelphia mint mark, there are fewer with the D and S mint marks. As a result, pennies from these mints can sometimes be a little more valuable, especially if they are in top condition. Now, let's talk about another crucial element: rare errors. Minting errors are a common reason why certain coins become highly sought after. A small mistake in the minting process, such as a doubled die, a misaligned die, or even a wrong planchet being used, can result in a coin that stands out from the rest. A 1976 Lincoln penny with a rare minting error could be worth significantly more than a regular one. Collectors pay top dollar for error coins, especially when those mistakes are as clear as day. So, what exactly is the value of a 1976 Lincoln penny today? If you're wondering if this penny is worth more than just 1 cent, the answer is a resounding yes. While most 1976 pennies you find in circulation today will be worth just 1 cent, a well-preserved penny in excellent condition, or one that features a rare minting error, can be worth much more. For instance, if you have a high-grade, uncirculated 1976 Lincoln penny, or even one with a unique error, it could be worth as much as $58,000, yes, that's right, $58,000 for a single 1976 Lincoln penny. The key to unlocking that value is finding one that is in exceptional condition or one that holds a rare minting error. So, before you discard that old penny sitting in your collection, take a closer look. It could be worth more than you think. Coin collecting is a thrilling hobby, and sometimes it's the coins that seem the most ordinary that end up being the most valuable. If you happen to have a 1976 Lincoln penny in pristine condition or one with a rare error, now might be the perfect time to get it professionally graded. Who knows? You might have a rare find worth thousands of dollars. Today, we're taking a deep dive into a coin that might seem like just another penny at first glance, but believe me, this one is far more interesting than you might think. Today, we're going to talk about the United States Lincoln 1 cent 1963, one of the most iconic and surprisingly valuable pennies you might have tucked away in your collection. Trust me, you'll want to stick around until the end to find out just how much this coin could actually be worth. The Lincoln 1 cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is one of the oldest and most widely recognized coins in the United States. The coin was first issued in 1909, bearing the image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. Over the years, this little coin has seen many changes, but its most enduring design has remained the iconic profile of Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. These timeless symbols of American history have made the Lincoln penny not just a piece of currency, but a symbol of the nation's spirit. Now, let's focus on the 1963 Lincoln penny specifically. This was a year when the U.S. was experiencing a period of peace and prosperity, as the country was in the midst of the post-World War II economic boom. The 1963 Lincoln penny was part of the series that continued the classic design that was first introduced in 1909. On the obverse, the familiar bust of President Lincoln appears, facing to the right. On the reverse, we see the Lincoln Memorial, a tribute to the president's legacy and a symbol of American unity and strength. While this design might seem simple, there's actually more to this coin than meets the eye, especially when you start looking at the factors that determine its value. As many of you know, most coins depreciate over time, and many are circulated until they're worn down and nearly unrecognizable. However, a key element in determining the value of a coin is its condition. A 1963 Lincoln penny that's in pristine, uncirculated condition is worth much more than one that's been passed around in someone's pocket for decades. The condition of the coin is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin with no visible flaws. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin is. For instance, a 1963 penny that has been kept in excellent condition, showing very little wear, would be worth much more than one that is heavily worn, discolored, or scratched. So, if you've got a 1963 penny that looks nearly brand new, you may be sitting on a valuable coin that's worth much more than its face value. Another factor that can affect the value of a 1963 Lincoln penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins in different locations, and each mint uses a unique mint mark to identify where the coin was made. The 1963 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, so you won't see a mint mark on these coins. However, in the past, some Lincoln pennies have been produced in Denver or San Francisco, and those coins tend to carry a higher value because they were produced in smaller quantities. But here's where things get really interesting. What makes the 1963 Lincoln penny even more valuable is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors are mistakes that happen during the coin-making process, and some of them can lead to incredibly rare and highly sought-after coins. For example, if a 1963 Lincoln penny has a misstruck design, where the image appears doubled or off-center, it could be worth a fortune. Collectors are always on the lookout for error coins because they are one-of-a-kind pieces that stand out from the rest of the collection. One of the most valuable types of error coins is the double die error, where the design appears more than once on the coin, creating a sort of blurry or overlapping image. A 1963 Lincoln penny with this error could be worth thousands of dollars, depending on how prominent the double strike is. If you happen to have one of these rare error coins in your collection, it could be worth far more than a standard penny from that year. So, what's the value of a 1963 Lincoln penny in today's market? Most of the 1963 pennies you come across will be worth just 1 cent, especially those that have been in circulation for years. However, a penny in near-perfect, uncirculated condition or one with a rare minting error can be worth significantly more. If you're lucky enough to own a 1963 Lincoln penny that's in excellent condition, or even one with a minting error, you could see its value soar. For the rare 1963 Lincoln pennies that meet these criteria, the value can be as high as $67,000. That's right, $67,000 for a single 1963 Lincoln penny, if it's in exceptional condition or has a rare error. This kind of value is what makes coin collecting so exciting. You just never know what hidden treasures you might have sitting in your collection. So, what should you do if you find a 1963 penny that seems special to you? First, make sure to keep it in good condition, store it properly and keep it away from damage. Then, if you think it might be worth more, consider getting it professionally graded by a coin grading service. A professional grade can increase its value significantly and give you a better idea of what it's worth on the market. Coin collecting is a rewarding hobby that not only connects you with history but can also lead to some amazing discoveries. So, before you toss that old penny in your jar, take a closer look. It could be worth a lot more than you think. Today, we're diving deep into a truly fascinating piece of American numismatic history, the United States Lincoln 1 cent 1966. This coin may seem like just another penny from the mid-20th century, but believe me, there's much more to this small, unassuming coin than meets the eye. Stick around, because the true value of this coin might surprise you. The Lincoln 1 cent coin, also known simply as the penny, is one of the most iconic and enduring symbols of American currency. First introduced in 1909, the penny has seen many changes over the years, but its most recognizable feature, the image of President Abraham Lincoln, has remained the same. This coin, which has been a part of everyday life for more than a century, carries with it a deep sense of history and tradition. Now, let's zoom in on the 1966 Lincoln penny. By 1966, the United States was in a period of growth and change, with the country in the midst of the post-World War II boom. The economy was thriving, and American society was rapidly evolving. The 1966 penny was produced during a time of great optimism and progress, and it was part of the series of pennies minted with the same design that has become so iconic. On the obverse, you'll see the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design, which has been in use since 1909, remains one of the most recognizable and revered images in American coinage. On the reverse, you'll find the image of the Lincoln Memorial, which was introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design remained in use until 2008, making the 1966 Lincoln penny part of a long-running tradition. At first glance, the 1966 penny might seem like just another coin to add to your collection, but it's important to consider the factors that make certain pennies worth much more than their face value. For most pennies, the value is, of course, just 1 cent. However, there are certain key factors that can increase the worth of a coin, things like its condition, rarity, and even the presence of minting errors point one of the most important factors in determining the value of a 1966 penny is its condition. Like any collectible item, the better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it is. A penny that has been kept in pristine condition, free from scratches, discoloration, or wear, is considered uncirculated. Uncirculated coins are highly prized by collectors, as they are much rarer than coins that have been passed around in circulation. If you have a 1966 penny that looks like it just came off the minting press, you're in luck. It could be worth significantly more than face value. Of course, condition alone doesn't determine a coin's value. Another critical factor is the rarity of the coin. The 1966 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, so it's not exactly rare by most standards. However, the rarity factor comes into play when we consider certain specific variations, such as minting errors. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, and these errors can lead to coins with unique features that collectors find highly valuable. For instance, some 1966 pennies were struck with double dies, meaning the design on the coin appears twice, offset, or blurry. These double die pennies are particularly sought after by collectors and can fetch a significantly higher price. Other common minting errors to look out for include off-center strikes, die cracks, or misalignments. If you happen to have a 1966 Lincoln penny with any of these errors, you could be sitting on a rare and valuable piece. It's also worth noting that, while the Philadelphia Mint produced the 1966 penny, the coin lacks a mint mark, since the mint mark was typically only added to coins produced at the Denver and San Francisco mints. While this doesn't necessarily make the 1966 penny more valuable, it's something to keep in mind when identifying and appraising your collection. So, what makes the 1966 Lincoln penny special in terms of its value? A well-preserved penny that's free from damage and shows no signs of wear can fetch a higher price, but the true value lies in its rarity, particularly if the coin has been struck with a minting error. The rarest and most sought-after 1966 pennies are those with notable errors, like double dies or off-center strikes. These coins are incredibly valuable to collectors who are looking for unique and one-of-a-kind pieces to add to their collections. So, just how much could you expect a 1966 Lincoln penny to be worth? Well, it really depends on the condition of the coin and whether it has any rare minting errors. A typical, circulated 1966 penny in average condition is worth only its face value, 1 cent. However, if you have an uncirculated 1966 penny or one with a minting error, it could be worth significantly more. In fact, a 1966 penny in exceptional condition or with a notable error could be worth as much as $69,000, yes, you heard that right, $69,000 for a single 1966 Lincoln penny, if it's in uncirculated condition or has a rare minting error. This incredible value makes the 1966 Lincoln penny a coin worth keeping an eye out for in your collection. If you think you have a 1966 penny that might be worth more, it's definitely worth having it professionally graded by a numismatic expert to determine its value. Coin collecting is a hobby that not only connects us to the past but also opens up the possibility of finding hidden treasures. You just never know what you might come across when you start digging through old coins. So, if you have a 1966 Lincoln penny lying around, it might be worth taking a closer look at it. Who knows, it could be worth far more than a simple penny. Today, we're about to dive into the fascinating world of the 1967 Lincoln 1-cent coin. This seemingly ordinary penny has a story to tell, and it might just be worth more than you expect. So, let's take a closer look at what makes the 1967 Lincoln penny such an interesting and valuable coin. When you think of pennies, you might imagine them as everyday coins that aren't worth much, just 1 cent, right? But for collectors, even the most common coins can hold incredible value, especially if they're rare or in exceptional condition. The 1967 Lincoln penny is a prime example of this. To understand its value, we need to look at several factors, such as its design, its production, and the unique qualities that make it stand out in the world of coin collecting. The Lincoln penny, which was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, has become one of the most recognizable coins in the United States. Over the years, the coin has seen various design changes, but it's always remained true to its original purpose, honoring President Abraham Lincoln. By the time 1967 rolled around, the Lincoln penny had already undergone several changes, including the introduction of the memorial reverse design in 1959 to honor the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C. The 1967 Lincoln penny features this classic design on the reverse, which shows the Lincoln Memorial with the inscription E Pluribus Unum and United States of America. On the obverse, as you'd expect, is the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This design has become an iconic part of American coinage, and it's one that has remained largely unchanged for over a century. It's this design that gives the penny its timeless appeal and makes it one of the most widely recognized coins in the world. But what makes the 1967 Lincoln penny truly interesting from a collector's perspective is the context in which it was minted. In 1967, the United States was in the midst of a period of economic growth and social change. The country was still recovering from the effects of World War II, and the post-war boom had given way to the vibrant, optimistic 1960s. While the 1967 penny was just another coin in circulation at the time, it holds a special place in the hearts of collectors today due to its age, rarity, and the role it played in the history of U.S. currency. Now, let's talk about what really affects the value of the 1967 Lincoln penny. The first and most important factor is the condition of the coin. As with all collectibles, the better the condition, the more valuable the coin becomes. A penny that's been passed around in circulation for decades might have scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, which can greatly reduce its value. However, if you have a 1967 penny that's been well preserved and remains in uncirculated condition, it can be worth much more than its face value. Uncirculated coins, which have been carefully stored and kept in pristine condition, are highly sought after by collectors. These coins typically have sharp details, no signs of wear, and minimal surface imperfections. The 1967 Lincoln penny, if preserved in excellent condition, is particularly valuable because finding coins from this era in uncirculated condition is becoming increasingly rare. The value of such a coin can significantly increase, especially if it's been kept in a protective holder or other form of storage. In addition to its condition, another factor that can drive up the value of the 1967 Lincoln penny is the possibility of minting errors. Minting errors are fascinating to coin collectors because they produce unique, one-of-a-kind coins. These errors can occur for a variety of reasons, such as problems with the die or mistakes during the coin's production. Common minting errors include double dies, where the design appears twice on the coin, or off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned. A 1967 penny with one of these errors can be worth much more than a standard, correctly minted coin. If you happen to have a 1967 penny with a rare minting error, your coin could be worth far more than its typical market value. Another factor that affects the value of the 1967 Lincoln penny is its rarity. While the 1967 penny was minted in large quantities, it's still important to note that some years of coin production are rarer than others. The 1967 penny is one of the more common coins from the 1960s, so unless it has a special characteristic, such as being in near-perfect condition or having a minting error, it isn't necessarily considered rare in the same way that coins from other years are. However, as time goes on, these pennies are becoming harder to find in excellent condition, and that's what makes them more valuable to collectors. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for: just how much could your 1967 Lincoln penny be worth? If you have an uncirculated 1967 penny, it could be worth much more than its original face value of 1 cent. In fact, depending on its condition, a 1967 penny can be worth upwards of $67,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $67,000 for a single 1967 Lincoln penny in pristine condition or with a rare minting error. While this price may seem astounding for a coin that's just over 50 years old, it's a reminder of how important it is to examine the coins in your collection carefully. If you happen to have a 1967 penny that's been well preserved, or if you've discovered a minting error, it could be worth a small fortune. So, before you throw away those old pennies or leave them sitting in a jar, take a moment to look them over. You might be holding on to a rare and valuable treasure that could be worth a significant amount of money. If you enjoyed learning about the 1967 Lincoln penny and want to know more about other rare and valuable coins, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on another exciting discovery. Thanks for watching, and happy collecting.